Hey guys, my name is Brandon Dawson. I am the founder and ministry leader of the Tribe of Christians Ministries located here in Charlotte, North Carolina. The Tribe of Christians Ministries is a prophetic evangelistic ministry. We share the gospel message through Bible prophecy to over 150 nations around the world, including all 50 states here in the United States. So I had a dream 2 nights ago, Monday, July 20th, that I want to share with you guys. It is very urgent, very alarming. I believe is a warning from the Lord concerning events that are going to happen in New York City that will impact the nation and the rest of the world. A lot of you guys are having dreams and you're having visions, and they're all speaking the same message. The Bible tells us in Joel chapter 2, also in the book of Acts, that concerning the end times and the events leading up to the end times, that the Spirit of the Lord would be poured out on His people, that they would have dreams and visions and will prophesy. And we're seeing this being fulfilled right now. And also, in the Old Testament, the Bible tells us that the Lord doesn't do anything without first revealing it to His prophets and His people, the church. So I believe a lot of you guys are having these visions and dreams, and they're all speaking the very same exact message. Now, when I was first called into the prophetic ministry in 2017, for the last 4 years since then, I have had consistently visions, dreams, and prophetic words, which I have published on our website, our social media pages, our podcasts, and also on YouTube. I'm going to include all these dreams and these prophetic words. I'm going to include the links to them in this video so you can go back and look them up for yourself. You can check out the dates and the timestamps on them, and they've all been verified and they're all accurate. And most of them, almost all of them, have passed and have come to pass. They've been fulfilled, which is why I'm sharing this dream with you. So for the last 4 years, the Lord has been giving me these dreams and these visions, and they're all stemming from a beginning focal point from New York City. So I believe what we're seeing right now over the nation and the United States, which has also impacted a lot of areas in the world, are a series of judgments as a result of idolatry of worshiping a liberal government and worship of government and legal or liberalism and progressive laws that have been being passed. So we've seen late-term abortion that was passed in New York City in 2019. We've seen extreme LGBT laws that were passed that started and stemmed from New York City that affected this nation. And so I believe the Lord is we've gotten to a tipping point, and the Lord is dealing with that. And with that being said, even though we are in a period of judgment and we're seeing a series of judgments over our nation, I believe the end result will be a revival. We're going to see the greatest revival I believe we've ever seen since the book of Acts. And if you read throughout the Old Testament, throughout the prophetic books of the Bible, no matter what happened, no matter what series of judgments happened, all of them pointed also to resolution, and they all pointed to Christ. God also gave them hope of a way of reconciliation. And so I believe that all these things are happening are not to invoke fear in us, but I think maybe a godly sense of fear. And they're not to take away our future or hope. I don't believe our nation is going to be completely destroyed. I believe these events are happening to move us in a position to receive grace, to move us into revival, and to position us to where we could start building up the kingdom and the church again, and where the gospel message will be preached 100-fold. So these events, I believe, will result in revival. Now, that being said, I got to share a little bit of a backstory concerning my dream I had on Monday. Like I said, for the last 4 years, I have had visions and dreams, and all these things have been detailed, recorded on our website and stuff like that for the last 4 years of events that have come to pass and have all resulted starting in New York City. So in April 14th of 2017, I received my first vision and dream. There were two dreams within two and one, essentially. I had two dreams within one dream. And in the first dream, I saw the face of the Statue of Liberty in a storm cloud. And then after that, I looked over into Manhattan, and I looked and I saw in Times Square, it looked like utter destruction, chaos had happened. It resembled another 9/11, except it was 10 times worse, and there was massive chaos in the streets. And then after I saw that, I didn't see what caused it. I didn't see exactly what had happened. I just saw the aftermath, so I don't know. But out of that dream, I went into a second dream. And in this dream, this was a vision. I was 100% completely consciously aware of myself and had full cognitive ability. And in the second part of this dream, I was walking around in a neighborhood that had grass and it had trees. There were children playing outside in the front yard. So I knew immediately that I was not in New York City. And at the time, my wife and I lived in Rockaway, which is in Queens of New York City. So I knew right away I wasn't in New York, because most of New York City is concrete, unless you get out to Long Island, where you do have some trees and some grass. So in this dream, I'm walking around in this neighborhood, and there's grass, there's kids playing outside. It felt like summertime. It was daylight. And then I was walking around, and I didn't know where I was, and I was confused. So I was asking people where I was, and nobody was answering me. And so I came up to this intersection in this neighborhood. I came up to a dead end sign, which I believe was not only literal, but was also very prophetically symbolic of events that are occurring that would represent an end to some of these sinful legalistic or liberalism agendas that have been passed. So I came up to this sign, and I looked up and I prayed to the Lord in this vision, where is New York City? Where is Rockaway? As soon as I prayed and I asked that, I was shown New York City, specifically Rockaway and Long Island. It was completely underwater, as if under the ocean, as if it no longer existed. And then I was woken up from that dream. And then after that, in December 22nd of 2017, I had another dream. And in this dream, I saw plague. I saw people walking around who were very, very, very sick. They were very pale. There were masses of people dying. And I woke up out of that dream. That's also published on our website. And then August 28th of 2018, I had another dream. I was at the stock market, and I saw at the last hour, the final hour of trading, that the stock market began to plummet until the closing bell, and I had woken up. Now, obviously, the dream in December about the plague came to pass was a vision of coronavirus, and the stock market dream was a relation to the stock market plummeting as a result of coronavirus. And New York Times, CNN, CNBC all reported on this as a result of a press conference. At the final hour of trading, the stocks plummeted over 2,000 points, and the worst drop in the stock market in the entire history of our nation. And it dropped over 7%. So that occurred March 17th and March 9th of this year. Now, in June 20th of 2017, I had dreamt and even saw Hurricane Harvey, and I saw that happened in Houston, Texas. June 20th of 2017, 5 months later, Hurricane Harvey had hit in October. So that dream came to pass. All these things are documented on our website, again, on our social media pages. You can go back and look them up. So, and then prophetic words, speaking with the prophetic words that the Lord has given me. In January of 2019, I did a prophetic word at the very beginning of the year. I think I believe right after New Year's, on January 1st, I published a prophetic word. And in that word, I prophesied that I saw a fight coming concerning abortion. And then just a couple weeks after that, New York City passed late-term abortion in the Women's Reproductive Health Act. And then in March 2019, just a few months after that, the Lord gave me another prophetic word where he said that judgment would come over the nation, and specifically New York City, within 1 year concerning the events that had happened in New York with late-term abortion and the LGBT movements. So that was published March 2019. And sure enough, 1 year later, March of 2020, coronavirus was declared a global pandemic. And in that word, actually, even specifically in that word in March 2019, concerning judgment coming, the Lord had also shown me that the Lord would give a sign to New York City for people to get out and to flee in New York. He specifically states that I have even given a sign that my people would flee out of New York and my presence be removed. So that was very alarming and disturbing. And like I said, that came to pass, at least a big portion of it. And coronavirus and the civil unrest have served as signs for people to get out of New York for what's about to come, because what's about to happen is even far greater worse than what's already happened. As if coronavirus and famine, economic hardship hasn't been, and civil unrest haven't been hard enough, there's one final event that's about to happen that hasn't happened yet. And so, which leads me to the dream that I had 2 nights ago, which was very disturbing. So Monday, July 20th, 2 nights ago, the dream that I had, I was in New York City, and I saw, it was around evening time, and New York City was covered in massive, massive fires all over the place. This wasn't just fires set from like civil unrest. These were skyscrapers and buildings, roads all over the place, just completely blazing. And it looked like Pearl Harbor, like a bombing had just happened, like New York City had just been bombed. And these fires were so bad that the sky was red, full of fire and smoke. And in that, I saw people trying to get out to the airports, trying to get out and leave, trying to flee. And the airports were shut down. The planes, a lot of the planes were inoperable. Nobody was able to fly out. And then I saw people in boats trying to get out of New York City. And then when they were trying to leave on water, I saw a huge tidal wave that was coming up from the southeast part of the Atlantic Ocean, coming up from the southeast, and it was moving in a direction northwest, heading directly towards the Statue of Liberty and where the East River and the Hudson River intersect. And so people weren't even able to escape that way through boat. And then I had woken up. Interestingly, actually, 5 days ago, I had a fellow pastor, fellow friend of mine, who had a dream 5 days ago, and he saw the sky over New York City was completely red, a red sky over New York, and he had woken up. And I believe that was an affirmation of the dream that I would have on Monday night. So I saw, like I said, I saw these massive fires all over New York, and it was absolute chaos. And people, due to the events that happened, people were terrified. People were thinking it was the end times, that we were in the tribulation period. And I just want to let you guys know that this is not the end times. It's not the tribulation period. It would be just as if any other war or event would happen. We've seen World War I and World War II. We've seen all kinds of different wars, and this is just another event that's going to happen. I believe it will be an act of war. I recently published a podcast concerning the prophetic pattern and parallel of the 4 horsemen over the United States. The pattern occurring backwards in order. Instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, it's been 4, 3, 2. And the last horse, the last pattern has not happened yet, which would be through war, through conquest. So that being said, I don't want to encourage fear. Godly fear is good. We should definitely believe the Lord. He's faithful to his words. The Bible tells us that perfect love casts out all fear. So what can we do about this? What should be our response? I want to encourage you guys right now, if you're in New York City, if you have any way to get out, I would encourage you to leave, to get out. All of my family have left New York City. We all moved out. We've had a lot of friends move out as a result of our testimony and the visions that the Lord has given me. And there are also some people who have stayed, who are called to remain in New York, to serve in the aftermath. So if that's your case and you just absolutely cannot leave, what I would encourage you to do is to definitely stock up on food. You should definitely have at least 1 to 3 months worth of emergency food supplies, at the minimum at least a month's worth of supplies. Blankets, I would encourage you to get a generator for when the power goes out. I wouldn't necessarily encourage you guys just to go straight to guns and ammo, although some of you might actually have to defend for your life and your family and your property. I recently shared a word from Pastor Dana Coverstone where he said he saw Russian and UN troops and Chinese troops here on American soil. And today I saw not only did the White House order the Chinese consulate to be shut down in Houston, I also saw another news headline that said that troops are being deployed, not only the Navy to the Pacific, but troops are being deployed to Asia dealing with the threat of China. So I don't know if this is going to be an attack from China or Russia. I don't know. But I do know that something is coming. And after this, I believe it will result in revival, that we will heal from this. We will be joined together as the body of Christ. And I believe it will result in revival. So that being said, guys, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can please reach out to me. Our email is tribeofchristians@gmail.com. You can also reach us through our website. You can reach us on our Facebook page through private messenger. You can also reach us on YouTube as well. And like I said, I'm going to post links to all these words and these dreams in the comment section of this video. Guys, be blessed, be in prayer, and please, I pray not for fear, but for encouragement, because the Lord is faithful and he really is good.